Hello everyone, this is Dennis Pearce with Keller Williams and RainCity Digs, and I am here downtown Bothell to speak with a friend of mine who owns the shop behind me, RainCity Wines. Yes, the names are just a coincidence. And I'm going to introduce you to Santo Roman. He's the owner of RainCity Wines and extremely knowledgeable guy. I think you're going to really get a kick out of what he's able to do for me and what I know he can do for you. Okay, so I'm stepping into RainCity Wines. Going to meet with Santo Roman. This is the shop, and Santo is actually a specialist in imported wines. Santo doesn't do anything from Washington. It's all specialty stuff from out of country. And Santo's got a lot of knowledge of Europe and just kind of places that we don't normally see, kind of the more interesting stuff that is a lot of fun to explore and experiment with. So we're going to go chat with Santo and see what he can tell you. So I am here with Santo Roman with RainCity Wines. And Santo, what can you tell us about your shop? What should we know?
RainCity Wines specializes in Old World European. So you're looking at wines from France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Portugal, and Madeira. And then we have one specialty area, which is going to be Lebanon, or Chateau Mozart.
So tell me why, I mean, everybody in Washington is focused on Washington, Oregon, and somewhat California wines. Why European? Why is that important?
I've been doing Old World wines basically for 20 years now. And once I lived over there in Italy for numerous years, I found that there was an appreciation for these wines that I couldn't say no to anymore. Comes to if you're talking about just a daily table wine, you're talking to a really expensive Burgundy or a really nice Bordeaux or a really nice Chianti. I came to realize that all the shops in our area, at least our state, they're considered boutique wineries, and I to this day I don't know what a boutique wine shop. I don't know what a boutique wine shop is, because technically in France, a boutique is a dress store.
Interesting.
So I was really kind of confused, and I have friends who opened wine shops the same time I did. Many years ago, I got my SOM diploma and literally had it for about 7 days, and I was cornered and was told that I could not wear my pin with the T-shirt that I was wearing at a tasting because it wasn't respectable for it. And I was wearing my typical weekend day off Iron Maiden T-shirt, and I just said, I grabbed my pin and threw it at him. I said, gave him a few choice words and just said, I'm out of here. I'm done. This isn't for me.
Right.
And the Europeans tend to be that way. They're very casual, very open about the wines and their opinions. And I wanted to focus on wines that I was truly passionate about, and that happened to be Old World European, French, and Italian wines. And it's interesting. We focus a lot on Washington because we are in the state of Washington, and I grew up here. I cut my teeth on Washington wines. I still love many producers that we've come to know, and wines that I tasted first back in '99 when I was really into it. And my wife Nicole and I still buy their wines. But as a business practice, there was nobody in the state of Washington who just did Old World, because we're so focused on Washington. And I mean, 4 miles away, we have 100 Woodinville wineries, or Washington wineries.
Exactly.
And I just said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I had just gotten divorced, just gotten moved back from Italy. I was pretty broke and didn't have a job. Went on a few interviews with some importers and some wine rep jobs, and just decided I always wanted to do this. And I knew what I was doing. I just said, screw it, we're going to do this. So I just decided to do it. And then I met my wife, and she encouraged me a lot. She's like, this is really great, because she was used to buying wines at like grocery outlet.
Yeah.
And once I introduced her to ports and Chateau de Pop and really nice wines, she has become the worst critic of me, because I can't bring anything home that's not up to par for her.
Well, and to interrupt you for just a second, I think Santo mentioned something earlier about Madeira. And I have kind of a soft spot myself for Madeira, and I have been unable to find it anywhere else other than in this shop.
Madeira is it's a very sore subject with my wife and I. We have several bottles at home, and once a vintage Madeira is open, there's only one way to kill it. You can either add a chemical to it or just drink it. It'll outlive us.
Yeah.
My wife actually finished up a bottle of 58 Sur, not consuming the whole bottle, but there was about 2 or 3 ounces left. And I came home, couldn't figure out what the hell that smell was, and it was beautiful. It was butterscotch, caramel, vanilla notes. I'm looking around the house, and I noticed there was a bottle sitting over, and I asked her, what's the Madeira doing out? And she goes, what are you talking about? I look over, and she has a Demi-Tasse espresso cup. And I'm thinking she's just drinking espresso. And I look at the bottle and notice it's empty, and I said, Nicole. I turn around, and she shot it down real fast. She goes, sorry. And that was the last of the 58 Sur we had.
That is so cold.
It was pretty bad. Well, 2 days later, we found out that she was pregnant, and she was yelling at me, going, if I would have known, I would have enjoyed it more. And I'm like, well, it sucks to be you now, you know. So we do specialize. We have Madeiras in the store constantly. I try to buy as much as I can physically afford in the shop wise, because you love it. I love it. A lot of our customers adore it. We drink it year round. It's not just for the winter time. It's a beautiful wine to have around. Always, I love impressing people when I can pull a bottle of Madeira. I'll go, let's have a 75-year-old bottle of wine. What? And I mean, and they're not cheap,
right?
But an ounce at a time can last many years, and for special occasions, why not? It's beautiful, and I love drinking. I love enjoying it, and you're never gonna get drunk on it. You really enjoy it with a friend, and you can just sit and giggle basically like schoolgirls. It's wonderful.
Well, and once you've had a Madeira, it's like no other. It's a distinctive, amazing experience that just sticks with you. You're always coming back for more.
Oh yeah, it's I would definitely say it's a drug that you once you have it, that first sip is free, then after that
you're hooked.
You're hooked, which is, I can be hooked the rest of my life on Madeira.
No doubt. So Santo, I actually came here with an assignment for you. Mm-hmm. We do this kind of fairly frequently, and I'm going to see if I can turn around. I'm going to just turn around the shop here, and I want you to see what all is here in the shop, and then so now you got a sense of what we're dealing with in scale. And I am going to turn this off, and I'm going to turn it around, and then Santo's going to get his assignment. So just a sec here. Okay, so Santo, here comes your assignment. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. So I regularly come in to Santo's shop. I have clients that are closing on homes, and I love to bring them a unique experience in a bottle. And I'm not knowledgeable on wine. All I know is what I like. And so I present a scenario to Santo, and it's kind of his little puzzle to work through, and we make it kind of a little adventure. So today I've got a closing this afternoon for a couple who's new to Washington. They actually just recently relocated here from Florida, and they're buying their first Washington home on the Skykomish River. He's a fly fisherman, and I know that he enjoys a good drink, and so I'm here for Santo to provide some guidance, and keep in mind that this is something you can do too. You can walk in here with some really bizarre requests, and he's up to the challenge. He's got some phenomenal stuff in here to choose from, and I know that he'll keep you happy. So Santo, there you go. That's your assignment. That's your challenge. Where do we go from here?
Well, let's see. If he's a fly fisherman, he buys a house on the Skykomish, which is basically blue ribbon stream. I'm also a fly fisherman, so I know how that drug works as well. And I mean, right now we have we're going what is it? We're getting close to July, so we're doing we're doing the steelhead run now.
Right.
Summer steelhead run is going to be running hard.
Exactly.
I mean, a box of flies, an ice cold bottle of wine. I mean, for me, I would say Quintarelli from the Veneto wine region, Bianco Secco, which is a very not the cheapest white wine in the world, but it is one of the most phenomenal white wines. I mean, this thing is just beautiful. I've never had a gentleman who comes in and says, "Oh, I only drink red wine." Well, right. I've made them buy the white wine, and they come back and go, "Can I get a couple more of those?" And my response is usually, "But you don't like white wine."
Yeah.
This wine is just beautiful, elegant. Give it a solid chill and let it get a little bit room temperature. If you're fortunate enough to be one of those people who can actually land a steelhead, I've landed 4 in my lifetime, and I see people all the time with 20, 30 steelhead in a year. I have no idea what they're doing or what I'm doing wrong. I've caught hundreds of them. I've just never landed the damn things. It is the elusive, one of the most sought after fish for us fly fishing nerds. I mean, it is beautiful.
It's our unicorn.
Yeah, and it's when you get it, it's chances are you're probably not going to keep it. Some guys do if it's a really big one or a certain way.
Right.
I've let all mine go because they gave me the challenge. They fought. I won the battle, and then of course they'll eventually win because I let them back go. And usually it's a guy helping me who I have no idea, never met, and he says that was a beautiful fish. And I take a picture of it. We give him a hug, and then we walk down the pathway to our own little spot. So the Quintarelli Bianco Secos, I think, is a beautiful one because it's...
All right, let's go pull it off the shelf.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
He's imported via Kermit Lynch Wine Merchant. We don't get a lot of it. I actually, for some reason, buy the most in the state. We maybe get 6-7 cases a year, and I try to buy 6 to 7 cases a year. I do buy all the 1.5 liter magnums of it every year. I buy them out completely. We only get 6 of those a year, but that's something that this is a wine that my wife and I truly love. We've just finished up drinking the 2007s. Awesome. So now I think we're on 2010s. We skipped a few years. And it's a white wine that will lay down, and it gets more complex, floral notes. It will match up with steelhead if the steelhead is cooked correctly. But I would just give it do a little bit of lemon, maybe throw some beer on it and some foil, and just let it do its job. You don't want to put too much power into the fish. You want to let the fish kind of speak for itself.
Right.
This is actually what...
There's the big guy.
Yeah, this is actually what the Magnum looks like. And this is actually a 2012 Magnum, which I think is not for sale because it has a round sticker on the back, which means this is my wife's. I try not to sell her wines anymore. She does get quite pissed off when I do that. But we do have a 13 for sale. The 14s are completely gone. Yeah, it's a square sticker. So
you're safe.
Yeah, so I'm safe with these two. Chances are when we sell one and we have one left, I'll stop selling them together.
Yeah.
Just because I do like to keep at least one Magnum for myself because I'm greedy like that.
She's a little territorial.
She's very territorial, yes. That's okay.
Awesome. Well, that's the process. That's actually how easy it is for you to come down here and select a wine with Santo, RainCity Wines, and seriously, come give them a challenge. Come do something fun.
Please do. Makes my day a lot more interesting rather than just chasing the dog around the block.
Awesome. Oh, by the way, you got to come down and meet Cosmo. He's the greeter dog. This little guy over here on the floor.
Yeah. Hey, puppy.
Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Come down, say hi to Cosmo.
Please do.
All right, you guys. Have a good week. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.